Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to the Chris Clark Podcast Show. I know it's been a long time. Been doing podcasts for a couple years now. We kind of took the year off, with everything hitting. But we back now. Nevertheless, we are back. We are in full effect. I'm just excited just to be back on the podcast show, doing it again. Was kind of iffy about doing it, but just got some encouragement, so I'm here. We're gonna have some special guests. We're gonna have some celebrity guests. We're gonna have some regular folk. We're gonna have some interesting folk. And we might just have myself. I just might feel like talking about myself. But all that to say, we got a great show for season 2, show number 1. I got the beautiful, the talented, the unstoppable comedian Kmac as my first guest. Just real excited about having her on here. But before we get started, we do want you guys that are listening to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Clark Comedy. Also, my website is at chrisclarkcomedy.com. You guys can go in there, sign up for the newsletter, follow me, follow the show. All the podcast shows are on there along with iTunes. We're on Google Play. We're on Podbean if you can download that app. And we're working on getting on Spotify too. That's coming up real soon. And we also, you can watch the show and listen to the show on my YouTube channel. And that's also comedian Chris Clark on there. But before we bring on Kmac, let's go to our sponsorships. Our first sponsorship, that's right, y'all, we got a sponsorship. We're doing it real big. Is Allure by Britt Nicole. All right, she's a makeup artist, an eyebrow technician, and a skin care specialist. You can contact her via social media at Allure_by Britt Nicole, and that's on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, just type in Allure by Britt Nicole, and you can contact her. And also our second sponsorship is Clark's Custom Apparel. We do t-shirts, hoodie, whatever can be appareled. It's going to be appareled. All right. So you guys can go to Facebook and Instagram at Clark's Custom Apparel, see some of the work that we do, and contact us for your apparel needs. All right. Now that we got all that out the way, let's bring on my special guest. She is the 2019 Comedienne. That's right, Comedienne. That's female. Comedienne of the Year with Church Star. She's a mother, a daughter, a TV host, and most importantly, she is a child of God. Put your hands together for comedian Kmac.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
What's up, Kmac?
Hey.
How you be? That's how they say it.
How I'm doing, yo. I'm so blessed. So blessed.
Blessed
so
and highly favored.
And highly favored. I'm blessed AF.
That's how they say it. Blessed and highly favored. Ha.
Yes, blessed and favored.
So what's going on with you? How you doing? How you doing? First of all, we're gonna jump right into the questions.
Okay.
One of the questions I do want to start off asking you, what you had for dinner this morning? Today, I mean.
Well, I am a woman of my word, and I can't travel all around the country and talk about Chinese food and not dip into it myself. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
The Lord has blessed me. Amen. Cheyenne came to the house today.
Okay.
Yes,
y'all on first name basis, huh?
Yes, we are. And I had some Chinese food. Now, don't tell my church, because we're supposed to be on the Daniel fast.
Oh, Lord.
But I went to my bishop. I was like, I don't even know Daniel like that. So why would I participate? You know what I mean? I asked him, can I do the Peter fast? So I can deny it 3 times.
Oh.
I said, because I got a birthday party coming up. You know what I mean?
You got to know the word to get that joke. You got people out there like, Peter, what Peter do?
Peter, who Peter?
Let me look at my word. Peter, yeah, Peter denied Christ 3 times. Yeah, read it and you'll get it. So, first of all, I just want to say, before we get into the questions, I just want to say I'm excited to have you as my first guest. I am extremely proud of you. I had front row seats to your journey thus far. And all I can say is wow, and you are blessed and highly favored. And I just want to put that out there before we get started. And for people that don't know, I'm going to put it in there in the beginning. Me and comedian Kmac are cousins, all right? We are first cousins. Her mama and my mama are sisters. My grandma had 17 kids. My mom was number 15. I believe her mom was number 13.
Yeah.
And so we come from a family people who like to have sex. Point blank. It's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids. I believe grandmom seen her sixth generation before she passed away. She passed away in 2010, 92 years old. So she lived a long life. I just wanted to throw that out there so people can
for
say
the tabloids.
For the tabloids. So
but you've been an instrumental part of my career, and I just respect you so much. It was very important for me, though, when I first started, not to tell people that we were cousins, because I didn't want it to look like I was getting preferential treatment because I was your cousin. Like, I wanted to earn my way up.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
through hard work.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until one day you start mentioning it. I was like, "Oh, we telling people that?"
Yeah, hey, you got a name drop, you know. Hey,
I was so hyped. I was like, "Oh, telling people, we cousins." Oh. So every time Marcus D. Wiley don't know me from a can of paint, but I swear every time I get in front of his face, I'm like, "I'm Chris Clark cousin." That's all he probably know me as this annoying fan to be like, yeah, somehow she related to Chris Clark.
Hey, I use Marcus' name too. Shout out to Marcus D. Wiley out of Houston, the Yolanda Adams Morning Show.
Yeah.
I was at the Punchline in Philly, and the headline comedian Ali Sadiq was there. He's out of Houston with Marcus,
right.
And long story short, him and Marcus are boys. So after the show, I went up to Ali. I was like, "Yo, yeah, Marcus Wiley told me to holler at you." He was like, "Oh, Mark, yeah, that's my boy." So long story short, we exchange information. He let's say, when I'm ever out in Houston, just to hit him up, and he'll put me on, the improv. So. Name dropping is a good thing. We got to do more name dropping in the black community.
Oh, I will.
Because it sometimes it does get us places that we may not thought we would be. Unless you got a bad rep, then I'm not gonna name drop because we don't want that or need that negativity in our lives.
I don't speak that at all.
All right. So my first question is, who is Kmac? Like, let people know who is Kmac.
Kmac, I am a mother, as you said, to a wonderful teenager. I'm scratching my throat on that one. To a beautiful teenage girl.
Yes.
I am an entrepreneur, which I'm very excited about. I am a hard worker with a work ethic like no other. And definitely, to all the churchy people, I'm a child of God, but that's automatic. That's automatic at the beginning. I love the Lord with all of my heart.
Amen.
And so I love hard. That's who I am. You know what I mean? If you just know me as Kmac, I know you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you know me as Drina, Kadrina, whatever, and I love my family, I love my friends, I love very, very hard. So I try to be careful who I allow into my circle. Yeah. I think Jonathan McReynolds said it. He said, we should be viewed, but not touched, right? Which means, not in a being in a casket type of sense or whatever, but almost like the Mona Lisa being up there and how it's so priceless that you only can get so close because of its value. You're able to see its beauty, but not everybody is allowed to touch it.
I like that.
And it's because, the transfer of spirits and the anointing that's over a life. So I know God has his hand on my life.
Right.
And I know that I'm on assignment. I know my purpose, which is great. So I just try to walk in it and be a blessing to people everywhere I go.
Yeah.
So that's me. That's my heart.
And I want to add to that. You are very, I don't think I ever told you this, but I definitely watch and seen you. You are, very encouraging and very supportive. You know, I see you on social media, and I know that's not a front because I see you in real life. You do it where you are a servant. You serve. Not saying that in a negative sense, but when things need to be done, you're there. You're the first one on the line. You know, you need help, especially with a lot of people in our circle, you know, in the tri-state area that we work with. You know, you may not be on the show, but you're there supporting, you're buying tickets, you're bringing people, you're promoting, and you do it with everybody. And that is very, rare, nowadays. So, you know, trust me, people are noticing, and people are saying nice things about you, because it is a blessing. You know, you don't find too many people that will support you. And I know you have supported me, you know, with my custom apparel business, getting me on shows, and just mentioning, you know, hyping me up. You know, a lot of times I don't like hyping myself up, but I can always count on Kmac to hype me up. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. You are very supportive. You're a great friend. You're a great cousin. And you're very supportive. And I appreciate you. If nobody else say that, I appreciate you for that.
Don't make me cry on the podcast.
No, I mean that was the serious part of the show, because you know, we're gonna get into some other stuff. But I did want to tell you that, because I do appreciate it, and I don't want you to stop, because I know a lot of times people like that, because I'm like that too, and you know, we get discouraged because sometimes, you know, we don't feel the love, but we give it, and we expect people to be like us. And when they're not, you know, we get discouraged. We may not want to do no more, but God see it, and trust me, other people do see that. So
that is so true, because I was basically in a time, you know, that you know, when you try to live right, it seemed like that's when things get a little hard, right? When you try to do things that other people don't do, when you try to have a standard, right?
Yep.
So then it looked like the blessings is going over there.
Yeah.
But then
going to the hypocrites.
Right? And, you know, and I'm just like, you know, I'm not a jealous type of person at all, by any means. But, you know, when somebody gets blessed, I might tap them and be like, oh, congratulations, I got next.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say something like that, you know, like, I got next. Amen. Yep. I'm so happy for you, but I got next, right? And so I had to go to the Lord with it, though. I was like, Lord, why Keisha over there get to be sinning and stuff? And I'm trying to do right, Lord.
I'm tithing and praying.
You the Lord.
Living right.
Lord.
Come on, Jesus.
Come on now.
Release them stimulus checks, Jesus.
I said, Lord. You know, I said, why? Why, though? Why the blessings going over there? And you know, I'm trying to do right. And then he just told me, he said, because that's all they have to look forward to. He said, your reward is in heaven. And so if you just delight yourself in me, I'll give you the desires of your heart.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't look for, I don't look for recognition here on earth. It's good when you get it.
Yeah.
It's good to be appreciated. But I'm looking for when I go up. What will mean the most to me is when it says, you know, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Exactly. If I gotta hear that. Yeah. I gotta hear that. I gotta do right to try to hear that. Even if I don't get another word down here, I'm not doing it down here.
Right.
We are a representation of him.
Right.
And so that's my goal, man.
Yeah. And you gotta approach stuff like that nowadays. Yeah. You know, I'm not doing it, you know, for y'all down here. I'm doing it for my reward up in heaven. Yeah. So moving on to the next question. We know you're classified as a clean comedian, Christian comedian. So why clean comedy? Like, why do clean comedy? I know, you know, a lot of female comedians are quote unquote secular. And those are the main comedians that are getting the movie deals, the TV shows, all the big projects. So there's not too many clean comedians, especially female comedians out there. So, we know we know you're a child of God. So, other than that, why clean comedy? Why do clean comedy?
Yeah, I don't think I had a choice. The way I'm 41 years old and I'm still afraid I'm gonna get a whooping.
It's the fear of God.
No, listen, my mom don't play that, okay?
At all.
And so, therefore, and it was important for me though, to have a standard for my daughter. So, raising her, it was important for me to just show her that you can have a career and still be clean. Like, you don't have to go that way. And I'm not knocking anyone who has branded themselves in that way.
Right.
But I just wanted to just show her that you can continue to have a standard, you can live for God, but still make people laugh at the same time. Why you can't be saved and still have a good time?
Mm-hmm.
So even though I do clean comedy, I happen to be a Christian, but I can hold my own on any comedy show that I go to, even if I go to a secular event.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, sometimes I tell people, don't even tell them that I'm a clean comedian.
Yeah.
Just let them figure out that I'm telling you jokes and I didn't cuss the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll figure it out, but you laughing just as hard as you did for somebody over there.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it opens the door to so much. And people, they come to you at the end of the show, man, I really respect what you're doing. I really respect that. You know what I mean? So, and I didn't know it was a hard thing to do. That's the crazy thing.
I know, right?
I didn't know it was labeled as a specialty.
Yeah.
I said, just don't cuss. And I said, act like you talking in front of your parents. And they're like, yeah, but my mom cussed too. I was like, grandma? She cussed too. I don't know.
Yeah. That was me as well, because I remember I had a few comedians throughout my career come up like, yo, man, how you keep it clean for so long? Like, I remember one show I did like an hour and 20 minutes. And he was like, yo, man, you ain't talk dirty. I'm like, I'm not a cusser. That's not the way I talk anyway.
Right.
But I know it was a few times that I was like, I'm going to the dark side. I remember one in particular time. I remember one in particular. But here's the thing, Drina, that I don't think a lot of people know. I never branded myself as a Christian comedian. It just got stuck with me as I went. Because my first year and a half, I don't know if you know it, like, I was in the comedy clubs. Like, I was in the Laugh House, Helium, different comedy clubs up and down the East Coast, in DC. I was doing, comedy clubs, secular shows, and it got to the point where, Buddy Love was putting me on shows with him, and Buddy was doing church shows, and then we did the Kings of Christian Comedy. So after the Kings of Christian Comedy tour, we kind of, it just kind of like branded on me. Then after that, everybody, Christian comedian Chris Clark, Christian comedian Chris Clark. So it kind of went, so I kind of, went with it. And then, a lot of people start, that seen me from the shows, like, they start calling me the King of Christian Comedy. Like, that's something I never put on myself. And some comedians, I ain't gonna mention no names. I got some nasty phone calls. Oh, how you gonna call yourself the king? You only been doing it for such and such years, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yo, I ain't never called myself the king. They did. Right. So but I took it as a branding opportunity, and it opened up more doors for me. But but like you said, I see people do that because I don't know if you know Yvonne Orji.
Yes, from Issa Rae's show.
Yeah. Me and her are good friends. She used to, as a matter of fact, she used to open up for me. She used to open up for me. I actually have a DVD of me, her, and the late Joe Rucker on the same show in New York. It was Joe Rucker headline. As a matter of fact, this particular show was the first time me and Joe actually met each other. And Charles Kane told
From
Joe
DC.
Rucker, from DC, he told Joe Rucker to get myself and Yvonne on the show. And then once I seen Yvonne, got on Insecure on HBO,
right,
I'm just like, oh man, I ain't gonna get noticed in the church, man. I got to hit these clubs up. I might have to, throw a 4-letter word out there, might have to throw it out there. And Dream, I kid you not, I was getting ready to do it. I was at the comedy club, I was at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to do it, I had it all written out in my sets and everything, new jokes, about to hit them. Why when I get there, people in the audience, oh, that's Chris Clark, yo, man, you was at my church a couple weeks ago, man, you killed it, man. I'm like, oh, okay, God, I see what you did. I see, oh, okay, checkmate. So, I didn't cuss, and I want to say that was probably one of my best shows. I got a standing ovation in a comedy club. I was the only clean comedian there. Got a standing ovation, and it was beautiful. The club owner came to me at the end, was booked me for more shows and everything. So, that's that's why I do clean comedy now.
Like I said, we really do have a special blessing over our family because our grandfather prayed too hard over his children and over the generation and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
We really don't. we gotta serve God, or you gotta do.
We gotta serve God all the time, man.
You know what I mean? Like
we fall off, we get right back. Ain't nothing.
You gotta live right. Holiness is still right. It's still right. You tried to go left, but
I know.
Right.
Tried to do it. It ain't look right. But God said, because if you do it, you ain't gonna stop. So no, because ain't no telling what would happen if I'd have started cussing. They would have liked it. I'd have been an embarrassment to the Mack family.
Yeah, but all you had to do was give them a little money. They would have been all right.
Get a couple $100 out. But listen, where does your comedy come from? Like, what inspires your comedy?
Okay, so I try my best to talk about issues that I deal with internally. I think that helps from plagiarizing and, as much as possible. Because I have a joke that I've reached out to comedians. Like, hey, can I use that? I even bought a joke, when I first started, only to find out that the comedian, it wasn't even his joke, but he took my money.
Oh.
It wasn't even his
He
joke.
done took your money and ain't his joke.
Oh my God.
Ahead,
and let me tell you who clowned me for it. Hamburger, comedian Hamburger.
Oh, shout out to Hamburger. Hamburger.
You know what I mean? Great mentor, great friend, and he clowned me. He even three-wayed somebody else to tell him what I did, because he was
I think I remember
so
that. Wasn't it
man.
me, you, and Buddy when you told him that or something? Me, you, Buddy, and Hamburger?
He done did it multiple times.
Oh, okay, because I remember him clowning you on a show. It was me, you, and Buddy, and Hamburger.
I got clowned like a mug. I did. But so, therefore, my inspiration, I think, is just life. My life is funny. I go through different scenarios that it's traumatizing to me. But then when I tell the story, it just so happened to make other people laugh. And so I'm like, oh, that's funny to you, huh?
It wasn't funny at the time.
It wasn't funny at the time. So I really do talk about my life. And I think that it's amazing that a lot of times when you feel like you're going through something by yourself and you share it on stage, other people can relate to what you're going through and you don't feel so much by yourself. It's very therapeutic to be on stage talking about your problems. Ain't that something? So it's like a free therapist.
It is.
That I don't have to pay for. I just tell my business on each show or whatever. But then my mom was always like, make sure you give God the glory on every show.
Yeah.
And that you make sure you use the opportunity to let people know that Jesus loves them.
Yeah.
So that's why, I get clowned for it too. But every show that I do, I open up and let people know that Jesus loves them.
Yeah.
In case they haven't heard it in a while. And I don't know if they'll ever hear it again.
You know who else does that? And I thought it was weird. Not really that. He always used to, and you might know when I say it, he always got, when he first got up, he went up there and got on his knees and prayed. You know what I'm talking about? He's not around here no more. He actually moved down south. Rob Minor.
Okay, yeah.
Rob Minor, yeah. Every show he used to, when they called his name, he walk up there, he get on his knees, pray, quick prayer, and then he get up and start the show. And I'm just like, and man, you got, cause I always pray before I get up there. Cause I'm like, when they call my name, it's showtime. Not knocking anybody, but I was like, yo, why you always praying when you get up there? Like, is it a show or you really, that's what you do? You're like, that's what I do. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
But it really has opened the door for me. It has allowed me to be able to pray with people at the end of shows. Mm-hmm. They'll just come and tell me their business, Yeah. And it's because outside of comedy, I know my purpose and I'm an intercessor.
Right.
So that's what I do is I pray. And so I don't mind praying with you at the end of a show. I don't mind praying with you when you try to book me. Yeah. We can pray. What you going to?
Pray you send this money on time. Send this deposit, Jesus.
That's it. You know, so I really think now it has become a staple. Now people are used to it.
That's what you're known for. That's your
and I don't mind that. I don't mind being known for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad thing to be known. The praying comedian, Kmac.
Come on. A comedian with a big heart who gets a big laugh. That's my little tagline right now. Look at me.
Yeah. I remember because I dropped the king of Christian comedy. Like, I don't like to be called that no more. Like, it worked at the time, but I don't like to be called that no more. Just Chris Clark. just Chris Clark. Because I think I got a lot going on. Like, some people that book me in the they still do it. But, I'm not big on the title. I'm just like, just call me Chris Clark. Because, I got the playwrights and acting and all that. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm just Chris Clark, They're like, nah, your resume long, brother. Your resume long. I'm like, you can throw one or two in there if you want.
If you do it, that's fine. If you do it.
I'm not going to do it. Like,
I ain't gonna do
I'm Chris Clark, clean the kitchen comedy. I don't want
Michael Jordan doesn't have to walk around and be like, I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'm the best. You don't have to say a word.
Yeah.
You just do what you do.
You do it. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I ain't saying nothing, but you can say it again if you want to. But,
a few more times, Put my Cash App out there too. See how that works.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. That's what's up. Moving along, let's talk about internet comedians. That's what I want to talk to you about. That. See, you get your take. I talked to some other comedians. Everybody have their own different perspective about the internet comedians. And before you answer, I just want to kind of say what I'm talking about. A lot of the internet comedians, not all, but a lot of them, and for people that's listening, they don't know what an internet comedian is. Internet comedian are people that make you laugh over the internet, over social media. They might put up funny videos or things like that, and people classify them as comedians, which they are, but some people get confused between internet comedians and stand-up comedians because sometimes internet comedians get booked for stand-up and they're not stand-up comedians. They're just internet comedians. And, it's a few people, they big time now. I'm not going to throw out no names, but they started off as internet comedians and they got booked a lot of money for to do stand-up comedy shows, sold out, and they weren't good. They weren't They were not what people was expecting. So that's what I mean as far as internet comedians. Like, how do you feel about them kind of taking the stand-up role when they're not really stand-up comedians? That's what I mean when I say, how do you feel about?
Okay. So I ain't mad at them for trying to do it.
Yeah.
To me, internet comedians are geniuses, right?
Yeah.
Because they did it first before the pandemic, right?
Right.
They found a way to get a large audience, right, without even leaving their home.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, all the people who talked about them prior to the pandemic, now all of a sudden, we trying to do exactly what they've already done.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Now we're stepping over into their territory, and now they're probably looking like, well, how are you trying to come over to the internet side, right?
I have, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of talented stand-up comedians aren't great actors. There's very few that are unbelievable actors. I mean, you know, you got your Eddie Murphys and your Martin Lawrence and, you know, your Dave Chappelle's and things like that. But I've seen some of these comedians that we've worked with and, you know, some B-listers, comedians out there that, you know, are trying to do the internet stuff and trying to do videos, and it's garbage. You know, it's garbage. Yeah, so I keep going. I just want to throw that.
I mean, to me, you know, if you've perfected a lane on the internet side and it's good, stay in your lane. You know what I mean? If you believe you're good enough to come over to the stage, or maybe you started on the stage and nobody knew, so you tried the internet side. Now you're coming back to the stage because now you have an audience. I'm not mad at anybody for trying to make more money. Right. And trying to increase their platform. If that works for you, I don't have a word to say about it because I don't pay none of your bills. I don't do anything for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
All I want to do is, if I ever was blessed for something to go viral or something like that, I do want to be able to reach across, reach down, pull somebody up with me and help somebody else. So if you know you're an internet comedian, but you want to go over to the platform, help somebody that's on the stand-up stage who is good, help them get their shine too with your platform, you know what I mean? And be known as that person or something like that. That's all I can really think of with it. Be responsible with the new audience that you've obtained, and, you know. Yeah,
because
that's it.
Yeah, it's, you know, my take on it is, it is internet comedians that became internet comedians and tried to do stand up. There are some that put in the work, like they went in the trenches, open mics because they wanted to get better. They was getting booked for shows, and you know, I create content. I'm a content creator myself, so. And I'm like best of both worlds. So I know I can do stand up and I can do, you know, the internet. I can put stuff together only because I have a theater acting background, which a lot of stand up comedians don't. I actually started off acting before I became a stand up comedian. So but that's where my respect for them comes. When you go down in the trenches, like, you know, we all started with the free shows, the $25 shows, the $50 shows. The I'm gonna pay you to hold on right there. I'm gonna get you later. You know, we all did that. You know what I mean? But a lot of these internet comedians that are getting booked for shows, they getting tens of thousands of dollars, right off the bat. And, you know, they're not good, but nowadays people ain't booking you for being good. They just want to book you because you got a following.
That's
you know,
it. It's all about, it's a numbers game. It's been a number game.
Oh,
You can watch the Tonight Show. I watch Jimmy Fallon like every night, and he'll have a comedian on there, and I'm looking like I haven't laughed one time.
Exactly. I'm like,
that person is not, because you got to understand that talent is only 20%, but the business is 80%.
Yeah.
If your business is not together, it it don't matter kind of what your talent is. People have the stupidest talent, but
Exactly.
their business is on point.
Exactly.
And that's what
millionaires.
Their marketing strategy. They got a marketing plan. They got a team.
Yeah.
How much effort have you put into the business?
Right, because I'm still trying to figure out what Kim Kardashian does.
You don't gotta do nothing now.
I mean, I know how she got in the business.
I know how she. And to me, I was just thinking about that. That's genius.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't go that route, but you know,
listen, one Peter Wink.
Yeah.
Made you a millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
One Peter Wink made me a mother. Okay, so
made me a daddy 3 times.
Okay, and I'm just like, I didn't have a marketing team.
Yeah.
If I would have had a strategic plan.
Like her mom is a marketing genius from what I'm told. Like her mom, Kris Jenner, is a marketing genius. Man.
That you took an incident that was supposed to be tragic for you.
Yeah, supposed to be your downfall. Yeah.
Off of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'll preach. I dare somebody to preach that message.
Pastor Love Offer can do it.
Pastor Love Offer, come on now.
Can I shout about it?
It's all about the Peter Wink. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But like I do respect the internet comedians. Like you said, get your money. You know, whatever you can do. Cause I know a lot of stand-up comedians like, man, they frauds, man. And I'm just like, nah, it's different forms of comedy. Like, I know as soon as you hear a comedian, you automatically think of stand-up. But there is different types of comedy. You know, you got, because, like me, I started off as a comedic actor. Like, people was calling me a comedian before I was a comedian because I was a comedic actor. I was funny in plays and stuff that I did, skits and stuff, before I actually became a stand-up comedian. But like you said, you know, if you're going to get into the stand-up, do the work. You know, don't go out there, take somebody's money, and you get out there and you ain't got no set. You think you just going to go do what you did on the video. Like, nah, bro.
Because the difference is, when you're on stage, I can't stop it.
Yeah.
And drag it and paste it together for you to see exactly what I want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the beauty of behind the scenes. If I mess up, I can cut it out, edit and paste it, cut and paste it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And on stage, you don't have the beauty of doing that or whatever. But, yeah, make your money. I'm not mad at them at all. I mean, and to anybody who is jealous of, or they say, I'm not jealous, but I'm all this stuff, there's different lanes. Yeah. What is your lane? You know what I mean? To me, I think if I had to classify myself, what type of comedian am I think I'm a storyteller. Yeah. Because I have to draw you in with a story. And and then hit you at the end with the punchline. Yeah. Everybody can't do that. Some people are one and done. Yeah. Punchers. Some people are very dramatic. I don't have enough energy to be dramatic.
Some people are situational comedians.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So there's that, and then now we have this new lane of internet comedians, which is everybody is at this point. Yeah. Because you can't go nowhere.
You got no choice.
You got no choice.
Yeah.
So to me, like I said, they're geniuses because you were doing something before the pandemic even started, and therefore we trying to figure it out, and you've already mastered it.
Right.
Over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Outside didn't just open up. Outside been there. Mm-hmm. But they created and opened a new lane. Right. And instead of us appreciating it and trying to move over and learn that skill, we trying to drive, you taking away my money. No. Sharpen your skill. Yeah. Get better and do what you have to do. To me, I love comedy because it's suggestive. Right. Everybody who is for Kmac, who loves my comedy, may not love your comedy. Everybody who loves your comedy may not like my comedy, but that's okay. My audience is my audience, and I will reach who I'm supposed to reach.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Exactly. You said something when you was talking a little earlier about reaching back, like when you get to that level, reach back. What do you think about comedians that, like you help, along the way, regardless whether you supported them, you got them on some shows, blah, blah, blah. And then when they're in a position to do the same for you, they don't. Like, how do you feel about that?
That's a great question, first of all. I probably don't think about it because I'm probably too busy with other things. When I help or when I do something, I really don't do tit for tat.
Right.
Okay. If I see an opportunity that may be a good fit for somebody that I've met, or maybe I heard you, or I feel like you should have a little bit more exposure than what you're having, yes, I refer. I'm a great referrer, for people to get their money. I don't ask for a percentage of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I say, call this person directly, ask for their fee. I let you handle your business, and do what you need to do. If you don't call me for a show, I'm not looking at you anyway, because God always takes care of me.
Yeah.
Whether I get a show from you or not, I get
Right.
most of my shows from word of mouth through the clientele, through the actual audience, and not from other comedians. If I had to wait on other comedians, I probably would have about 5 or 6 shows a year. That's it.
Yeah. I don't think I would have none. Maybe the ones you asked me for, but
you know what I mean?
That,
so,
yeah.
And I do have some great comedian friends. So when I'm thought about, I'm very grateful and I'm very humble on when I'm asked to do something. I don't take it for granted at all. I'm like, thank you for thinking about me for this opportunity. And I try to do right by people. If you refer me to something, I make sure, that I don't embarrass your name.
Right.
When I be on time, and I have a good work ethic. Yep. And that's why, I believe that people do call me back, because I was a great representation for their show or for what they was trying to do. But if another comedian doesn't call me back after I've referred them to a show, I really don't take it to heart. Mainly because I stay busy. And I'm probably not thinking about it. But what's for me will come my way, and that's all I want.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I have been in positions where I got salty a little bit, not to the point where I blasted somebody. I always kept it to myself, like, God got something better for me. Because there's been not mainly shows, other comedians or whatever put me on shows, but it was like opportunities, like something big, where they may got a contact. Cause my thing is, just give me the opportunity. I'll take care of the rest. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you to big me up. I don't need you to, this guy, blah, 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 blah. No, just look, I got a comedian. Let him work. Boom. I take care of the rest. My talent, gifts speak for itself. But I have got salty where, as if, like, just throwing a scenario out there, like if Russell Simmons called you to do Def Comedy Jam. Kmac, look, I want you on the new Def Comedy Jam. We doing, bring like 4 comedians with you. And, you ain't called me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dang, oh, word. Like, you know what I mean? Which is like, then it's like, you think, you like, okay, well, maybe, all right, them his favorite comedians he picked, but if you get another opportunity to bring more comedians, like, you still don't call me? Like, it's an ongoing thing. Cause I get it. I've been in that position where I done got told off by other comedians. Man, you ain't called me. I'm like, but it's comedians that ain't never did nothing for me. You know what I mean? Man, you ain't called me. Y'all ain't touching such and such, and y'all done did this and this, and you ain't like, look, bro, this is who I called at the time, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you keep talking smack, I ain't gonna never call you. You know what I mean?
And I've seen it where people had a certain budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People had a certain budget. I've been in that situation, right? Where I might have had a low budget. And I was like, Dad, who can I call to do a show for $150 without being offensive?
Right. Yeah, and I get that, because me, promoting shows and doing all that stuff, like, now my thinking is different, because before I used to get salty. You can ask my wife. I used to get like, oh man, I ain't doing nothing else. But now I'm thinking like, oh, well, maybe, like you said, maybe they had a budget and they ain't want to call me. Cause, it's been comedians, I ain't even get mad over it. They were like, yo, Chris, man, I was going to call you, but they only had a little bit of money and I ain't want to offend you like that. But my only thing with that is like, if it's a close comedian like you and, like my homegirl Chanel, Chanel Renee, Buddy, you know what I mean? Like Sean Sarvis, Tim Shropshire, people like that. It's like, yo, give me the opportunity to tell you no. You know what I mean? Ask me. Let me tell you, you know what I mean? Don't just assume that I won't do it because, just because because I had that for me. Like, yo, it's you, man, whatever. I do it for whatever. Like people told me that because it was me. You know what I mean? That's like what I say to them. Like, oh, come on, man, just give me the opportunity to say no. Don't think for me. Like, you don't know what I'm going through. I might got a bill for that $150. You know what I mean? Like, I need to go make this money. You know what I mean? I might need to put some food on my table this week. That $150 go a long way. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like that, like my close comedians friends, I say that to. But like people that I don't really know, and Cletus Cassidy too. He's another good friend definitely. Of mine. Like people like y'all can get that off, but like other comedians, like, oh man, they only got such and such, and then I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I do try to be respectful. I really do, because when I do have the opportunity to make that money, I'll be like, yes, make this person a headliner, give them what's their fee, boom, 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 like that. I'm always looking to help other people as much as I can. Yeah,
and sometimes, and like you said before, it's therapeutic. Sometimes you just want to be on stage. Like I've done free shows. Like, yo, I come there, be like, or people have an event, and I hit like or I share it, and they hit me up like, yo, you coming through? I'm like, I can. Like, oh, you want some time? Like, yeah, man, let me get on. How much you want? Nah, don't worry about it. I just got a few jokes I want to test out. You know what I mean? Let me get 5 minutes. Boom. And things, and any comedians or entertainers that's listening, like that's how you build relationships. Because a lot of people in the industry, if you listen, I watched Vlad TV's on YouTube, and I was watching the one where Faison Love was there. Like he got a lot of stories where him and other people that are famous now, when they wasn't famous back then, but they all hung together and they stuck together. Like he said one in particular story where, remember him and Chris Tucker was tight. I didn't even know that. Like they was tight. Like they got locked up together for fighting other people. Yeah, like they tight. And I never knew that. This before Friday, like, he was telling a story about how Chris Tucker ain't get Friday. Like the only reason why Chris Tucker got, the role of Smokey on Friday is because, Tommy Davidson never showed up for the, audition.
What?
Yeah. and he said Faison Love and there was another lady worked with Chris Tucker to build that character, and they went back. He got another opportunity, and that's how he got on, Friday, the movie Friday. But here's the thing that I wanted to say. He said the movie Money Talks with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. Yeah. Remember that part in the jail cell where Faison Love was like hugging him? He was like, man, get off me, man. He hugged me like he did it like this. He said he wasn't even cast for that role. Like they wrote that in because he showed up one day with Chris Tucker. That part was not in the movie. It was not. It's
just a matter of showing.
It was the matter of because he was at the right place at the right time.
I was there. Like
he said the part. Yeah, he said the part was not in the movie, and Chris Tucker was a executive producer on the movie, and he knew the director, and they went, and he said they went in Chris Tucker's dressing room and figured that part out, that little jail scene part that they did.
That's crazy.
And I say all that to say this is, it builds relationship because you never know. Like still to this day, even though I haven't done nothing with Yvonne, like I shoot her a text or an inbox or something. She responds. She hit me up. Like, she told me she got a project coming up, which she do now. Shout out to Yvonne Orji with Oprah, who's producing a TV show about her life. Like, so yeah, like she told me about that 2 years ago, and was like, she'll let me know when the auditions come. Even though me and her are not tight, but it's a relationship where she can give me some behind the scenes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, comedians, we can't hate on each other. Like, build relationships. We all in this grind together. One person make it, like, pull somebody up. Cause when I make it, you coming with me.
Come on.
Like, look, I got my cousin, you know what I mean? Yeah, she can hold her own. Like, look, I'm gonna bring you to the table, but you gonna eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm ready. But I was ready yesterday.
Yeah, but that's just people like us. That's how we build relationships, but everybody not built that way.
Issa Rae is a great example of that too.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She's like, people always want to sometimes reach across to people that's at your level.
Yeah.
You always trying to go up. Yeah, we all want to go up, right? Yeah. But sometimes if you can't build with the people that's around you, and then y'all all go up together.
Because that be the best stuff. Like, people early stuff is the best stuff. Like, Tyler Perry, his early work is the best stuff when he was grinding.
Yeah.
Now he a billionaire. You like, Tyler.
Because now he got other writers for him and stuff. He got people, creative team, which is good, but I don't have the luxury to have a creative team.
And Adam Sandler is good for that too. Because if you notice, he got the same people in his movie. That's his crew.
Yeah.
Whether they got a big role or a small role, they in that movie some way. And like, that's what, like, I'm trying to build. Like, hey, yo, let's go, man. Let's work, man.
I'm gonna be right there.
Yeah,
even if I gotta hold the boom mic.
Like, this is what you do. And then, like,
right there.
like, shout out to my boy Derek Gaines. Like, he's doing this thing out in Cali.
Derek.
Yeah, but it's like, you never know when a small part can lead something big. Like, Derek had a part on a TV show. Like, he was telling me this. He had a part on a TV show, and he went to a comedy club where he really couldn't get no stage time. And then when he got that small part on a TV show, it opened up. Like, they put him right on stage. Oh, yeah, you was on what? Yeah, come up. And it opened up doors. Like, now he was on Will and Grace when they redid it. Will and Grace, he had a recurring role on there. Like, it leads up to awesome stuff. So, like, that's why I be like, yo, man, whatever you got, man, do it. You never know who's gonna say it.
I know. Yeah. This is also new for me, basically, because I didn't know I was gonna have a career in comedy.
Yeah, me
totally came out the blue.
Yep.
This is nothing I ever aspired to be.
Yep.
But I knew it was all God because He made the way easy.
Mm-hmm.
He made the way easy, and He opened doors. I was sitting in banquets, and I'm sitting at head tables with the pastors and influential people, and I'm sitting here like, how in the world did I get here?
The ushers marching you up to the front, bringing you drinks.
I got my own usher. I
got my arm and bearer.
I get juice. Only pastor get juice. I get juice with the napkin. I said,
juice.
Why do you do it?
Yeah.
I said, Lord, I'm grateful. I said, I just want to be in your will, Jesus. If your will includes juice.
Right.
Like comedian Josh Jennison said, I want juice. I want juice. Yeah.
So let me, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but how has comedy changed during the pandemic? Like, how have you seen comedy change? I know for both of us, we've done a lot of Zoom shows, but just touch on that. How you think it's changed?
Well, not being able to be on stage, for people who was used to doing it every week, it was very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
To me, though, I took it as a challenge. I said, in 2020, anyone who is known as a creative, whether it's through comedy, plays, you're an author, whatever your creative talent is, if you are truly a creative, you should not be leaving 2020 without any new material.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
Because now you have plenty enough time to sit down, to write, and to think, and to get all of your ideas out. So if you actually came out of that year with nothing, it's like, what was you doing?
That's what I said. 2020 was the year of the hustler.
Yes, it really was. So, case in point, I'm doing these Zoom shows, right? But to me, this is a great practice session for television. Because now when you're in front of the Zoom camera, you don't hear the applause.
Right.
You don't hear the laughter at the same part. You like, oh, I know that joke hits every time. And then you do the joke and you don't hear nothing. And you're like...
I haven't thought about it like that. That's
you like,
insight.
yeah. So now you can take that same uncomfortable spot moment and learn how to... I practice in the mirror. And I learn to do it in a nice, comfortable pace so that I give the audience is laughing in my head, and then I proceed with caution
Got my own
so
laughs.
that it, you know what I mean? So that it seems smooth.
Right.
That I go and I segment my material, to go from one joke to the next so that I'm not looking around like I'm waiting for, an uncomfortable laughter or pace. I got my whole set mapped up. And that's what you have to do for TV. Right. If they give you 3 minutes, you have to be done at the 3-minute mark. You don't get that extra time.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
Stuff like that. So me, I'm taking it because I really want to be on the Jimmy Fallon show one day.
Yeah.
I want to be like the first clean comedian on there. I don't know if Sinbad did it or whatever.
Yeah.
But if he had, then I'll put the word Christian in there. I was the first Christian.
I don't think he did Fallon though. I don't think he did Fallon. He might have did Carson or somebody, Leno.
So I really want to do that show.
Yeah.
And so it's that practice. It's practice. I'm taking each Zoom show as a practice session for television.
Right.
So to me, it has changed, but you have to be ready for change. You have to be prepared, stretch yourself.
Yeah.
And stay relevant with the times.
Right.
And it's a blessing. Go with the flow.
Yeah. Speaking of relevant with the time, we know a lot going on in this world, especially the great U.S. of A. With the Trump supporters, storming the Capitol on last week. Comedy, everything has the Black Lives Matter movement, everything has become political, including comedy. So do you think comedy has become too political?
Nah, never. I heard somebody even say, if you want to know what's going on in the world, go to a comedy show.
Yeah, I heard
You know what I mean? Because comedy will it's a great stress reliever.
It is.
From what's going on in the everyday world, right?
You know where I used to get my news from?
Where?
Watching Stephen Colbert.
See?
That's
dope.
Yeah, I watch the news now. Me and my wife, we getting older, so we start watching the news. But before, I didn't know what was going on. But Stephen Colbert, me and my wife used to watch him every night eating Ben and Jerry ice cream, and I'm like, Dad, that happened? Then you gotta look it up. You're like, oh yeah, that did happen. So yeah,
I'm telling you, I like watching Trevor Noah, and I like watching Rachel Maddow on MNSDC or whatever that station's called.
One of them
because they take the political mess that's going on.
Right.
They break it down into a way that I can understand it, and they make it so funny, and I love it.
And I want to incorporate that more in my comedy. Like, I do it because I'm such a, I guess a perfectionist, so to speak, where if I don't feel like it's right or it's Chris Clark, I'm not going to do it. And
Right.
I do write political stuff and today's time stuff, and then if I don't feel like it's right, I won't do it. And then when I feel like I want to do it, it's like, oh, is it too late to do it? Like that was like
That was
last
so
month.
last week.
That was last week. But I know a lot of comedians that can, like, they can read the newspaper and come up with some jokes. Like I have done that. I do it like maybe like an opening joke, or I sneak it in there in between my jokes. But I do want to incorporate that. I think that's a great talent to have. Where
It's a great skill.
yeah, skill.
It really is.
Where you can just read. Because I remember watching something where Chris Rock said that. He said that was in his rider when somebody booked him, and in his hotel he wanted a newspaper because he wanted to know what was going on in that city. And then he'd read the newspaper before the show, and then when the show hit, he talking about that city. Yeah, he talking about that city.
Smart.
Like Cat Williams used to do the same thing. Like they'd talk about stuff in that city, and I'd be like, "Dad, how they know what's going on in that city?" You're like, "Dad, they read the paper." Then it could be a joke you already have where you just switch it up and input something from that city, or what's going on. But yeah, I think that is a great skill. Great skill to have.
Smart. That is so smart. And I might try to incorporate that. Can't dedicate a whole 30-minute set to it.
Yeah.
But I may try to incorporate like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah,
to a relevant topic, and then go into the set that I already know.
And it kind of breaks up your set too. Like if you're doing 30 minutes and you might have 10 minutes just on that city. That way you're not even doing your whole set. So if they invite you back, you can do the rest of your set when you come back.
Exactly. Yes.
I did that in Connecticut one time. It was so funny. I was talking about, because me, I normally don't talk about the audience. But this particular show, like, they deserved it. And I think I spent every bit of 15 minutes on them, and then did another 30, 40 minutes just on my other stuff. So when they brought me back, I used the stuff that I didn't use, along with some observational stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like a brand new set to them. So
that's crazy. That's dope. That's
so
dope.
yeah, it works. But yeah, I do want to incorporate that even more in my comedy, because that is a great skill. Last question. I don't want to keep you too long, but last question.
This is fun.
Thank you. first show, season 2.
Okay, come on.
What can comedy do to bridge the gap between all of this racial and political stuff? Like, how can comedy, in particular your comedy, how can it bridge the gap between all the racial and political mess? We got, the Democrats and the Republicans, Trump supporters, Biden, Harris supporters, we got the Black Lives Matter, police brutality. In my opinion, comedy is needed even more now. That's why when we talked about social media comedians, internet comedians, I really feel like we all need to come together, because the world needs us right now.
Yeah.
But I want to get your opinion on that. What's your thoughts?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. To me, especially through my form of comedy, I want to, regardless of my audience, right? Mm-hmm. I want to bring people to a place where forget about your political affiliation, forget about any other titles that you may classify with, but when we're all together, we can classify ourselves as humans, or we can classify ourselves as children of God.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. Like, we're all one. We can laugh on one accord. I just want you to have a good time, and all that other stuff just gets out of your mind. We're all one. Like, one of my favorite holidays is New Year. New Year's is one of my favorite, not because of the, what's those things, those lies that you tell? That
New Year's resolution.
Not because of the resolution. Not because of that. It's because for one day a year, the whole world is on one accord that we are stepping into a new year. we're all on one accord. We're all in a common place that we're all in agreement.
Right.
We might disagree on everything else, right? But that one time a year,
yeah,
versus the time zones and stuff like that for people who want to be literal and stuff.
right.
But for one time a year, we are all on one accord that we are stepping into a new year. So when I'm on stage, or when a comedian is on stage, let's take that 15, 30 minutes, however much you got, and let's all be on one accord, one mindset. And let's all go to a place of laughter. Let's all go to a place of peace, of fun, where we're leaving with joy. Yeah. You're leaving better than how you came. Ain't that how they say, right?
Yeah.
So you have it now. You now have a smile on your face. You
right.
now maybe are thinking about something different that you didn't think about before that makes you chuckle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of effect that I believe comedy should have on the audience, and I think that it's imperative, especially right now, and especially during these times, that we have a responsibility to make people laugh. Yeah. So use your gifts, use it wisely,
right,
and just stay in your lane and do what God has gifted you to do.
And I think it kind of ties into the other question I have. Comedy has become too political because a lot of people, and I've heard some people say it has become too political because what you just said. I want to go to a comedy show and forget about all my problems, kind of forget about what goes on in the world. And then when I get to a comedy show, they ranting off about, yada, 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 Black Lives Matter, police brutality. Like, I want to get away from that right now. So I can kind of understand that. And I know some comedians kind of go, in my opinion, too deep. He be like, all right, bro, I'm here to laugh. I ain't here to, like, you get me upset. I'm ready to knock some white people out or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand it.
But yeah, I kind of understand that. But to the point where we said earlier about knowing what's going on in that city, maybe something that's funny or something you can laugh about, things like that. But I guess you get too deep in it, it's like
it's different for us anyway because
where's the comedy?
Because of our specialty of comedy.
Yeah,
I'm only gonna go so far in a church anyway.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because somehow I didn't know that it was a specialty, but all the rules that you've been raised up in church, some people ain't familiar with them little rules, right? So just because you a clean comedian don't mean that you just don't go into a church and not cuss. See, your content has to be clean too.
Right.
Of what you're talking about.
Right.
So you can't go into a church talking about, yeah, man, so me and my girlfriend was in the bed.
Yo, I've seen and heard that.
They will shut you down. Do you understand? And you're sitting there like, what did I do? I didn't even cuss.
Yo, that's what a lot of, especially secular comedians that try to go clean. Like I'm all for you trying to go clean because I think now clean is the way to go. Like all the dirty talk, I mean, it's still funny. I ain't gonna lie, I still enjoy it at times. But to hear it anyway, because I think it's still I think it's still an art, and it's the art of the joke because that's the way you talk. But a lot of the secular comedians think when you go clean, that just means no cussing. That's not what it means. It means your content has to be clean. Like you can't talk about, like you said, you can't go into the church and be like, yeah, me and my girl was in bed the other day. I was doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, brother.
They will shut you down. The pastor will come up. All right, brother.
All right. You got enough now.
Amen.
I was at a comedy show. I wasn't performing, but I was at a comedy show some years back where they was doing that, and it was the first comedian was talking dirty and cussed maybe like 3 times in the church. Pastor shut the show down. The other 3 comedians didn't even get up. He said, nope, this it. Because the promoter, he knew me. He was like, man, I should have had you on the show. I was like, yeah, but he was the first comedian. Like, you'd had me on the show, I probably would have headlined. Like, it would have shut down anyway. I'm like, yo,
wouldn't even got to perform.
Yeah, that's why I be telling like promoters, because like a lot of times people who promoters, they'll call me and like be like, yo, put the show together. Or I want you and I want like 3 other comedians. Can you do it? And I get people that I know that can perform in the church, that I ain't got to worry about slipping. Like, there's nowhere in the world I will book a comedian on my show at a church and he gonna slip. Or it's a possibility that he'll slip. Yeah. Like, no, you gotta be straight clean, because there are some very hilarious clean comedians. That's why I call you. I call Buddy. God rest his soul, my man Chris Cotton. He was another one of my go-to people. Like Derek, because some people can do both. Like good friend Derek Gaines, he can do both. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I never had to worry about Derek. Just there's a lot of comedians out there you never had to worry about. So that's why I'm like. And then it goes back to the money thing, what we talked about earlier. Like, everybody want to save $1, and you want to get booked this secular comedian because he say he can do clean, and he only charging you $50, and that's gonna keep more money in your pocket. But now your reputation is screwed because you done brought this guy here, and he's cussing, and then the pastor done shut your show down, and now word going around because bad news spread around quicker than good news.
Right.
So don't get this promoter to do such and such at your church because he don't know how to bring in the proper talent. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I understand. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. You definitely did. And I definitely appreciate it. So we're gonna wrap up real quick, but before we get out of here, I want you to let people know what's next for Kmac. Like what's next for you? What you got going on? And also, we want to know how the people can connect to you, where they can find you, and how to book you.
Definitely. During the pandemic, I actually was blessed to start my own television show.
Woo!
Yay! Hold on, where your applause?
Hold on, I gotta get my applause on. Wait a minute. Here we go. Hold on. There we go.
Hey!
There we go. We got the clap. Okay, and what is the name of your show for the people that don't know?
The show is called Kmac's Clean Comedy Corner. It airs every 4th Sunday at 6 p.m.
That's right.
Either on YouTube. If you have Comcast, it's on Comcast channel 190, or you can watch it on another platform called ResurrectionToday.tv. Wow. So there's 3 platforms where you can watch the show. Chris Clark was actually my very first guest.
Yes, I was.
On my television show.
And what a great show it was. Huh?
How was your experience?
It was awesome. Even though I know it was during the pandemic, I wasn't gonna miss it for the world. But I felt safe. I think your team, took very good care of me. Made sure I was safe. I wasn't expecting all the makeup and stuff. I was like, okay, all right. All right, got a little makeup artist over here. But I thought it was awesome. The cameramen, they were funny because they were trying not to laugh during my comedy segment.
I know.
As soon as I got done, it was like, like, yo, that was funny. But yeah, it is. It's a great show. And if you, I've shared it. So the people that follow me, I've shared it, and I will share it again. And it's also going to be up on my website. So once you click, and then you can see the other shows, because you had Belinda Clear on for the second show.
The second episode is Belinda, and then Josh Dennison. Belinda Clear is episode 2. She's a funny comedian.
Yeah, Belinda. Shout out to Belinda Clear.
And then Josh Dennison's show actually airs Sunday, January 24th.
Oh, okay,
so
nice.
Look out for that.
Shout out to Josh Dennison, another good friend of mine.
Yeah,
of ours,
so
I would say.
Excited about that.
Yeah.
And I have to give a shout out to Sweet Friend Sean Productions, who is the executive producer on the show.
Okay.
It was because of her believing in me and opening up the door for this opportunity. Never thought that I would have the opportunity to be on television.
Nice.
And so I have to give her a special, special shout out for that. So I'm grateful, forever grateful. Also, anyone who's interested in following me, please feel free to go directly to my website, which is Kmac, That's Kmack, KMacCleanComedy.com. You can find me on Instagram at KMacCleanComedy, or you can find me on Twitter at KMacComedy. So, really, if you forget, just Google me. I'm Googleable.
Googleable.
So you can put me in on the search, Kmac, Comedienne Kmac, or however you want to do it, and I will pop up. Something of mine will pop up.
Yeah, and she does have the Chris Clark stamp of approval. I know she's my cousin, but y'all know me. I won't put out no nonsense. If you see me on shows and I bring a team with me, she's right by my side, unless she's booked somewhere else. So you are getting a great comedian. If you do book her, please book her. Keep her busy. Her daughter, Carrie, is usually with her. Her manager.
Yeah, she's my manager.
She's her teenage manager.
Yeah.
So she's very, very lovable young lady. Kmac, appreciate you having you on the show. I got to bring you on some more shows. Maybe you can co-host with me.
I would love that. Come on,
because I'm gonna get some other comedians on. I got some social media influencers that I
want to be like
up.
that girl Angel, so I could be like,
yeah. Shout out to Kev on stage, man. I know we don't know each other. We don't know each other, but I know we will cross paths one day. But man, I am an admirer of you. Great job what you're doing, opening up a new studio over there in California.
Maybe we can be on his show together, called A Family Affair or something.
Yeah, we can do that. Kev, reach out to us. Have my people call your people.
Reach out to us.
And
putting it out there.
Let's hook it up, baby. He got the mobile app.
Come on, share it, y'all.
Yeah, he got the mobile app. So if you ain't got it, go get it. Very funny guy. I haven't met him, but I do have friends that know him and work close with him.
Cletus was on his show.
Yeah, Cletus. Tim Shropshire was on his show too.
There. Yep.
Yeah. So
Angel Gaines, I think.
Yeah, Angel Gaines. Yeah, Angel Gaines. She was on there. She's out of Seattle, right? Angel.
Don't give me the line.
I know she's on the West Coast. I don't know if she's from California or Washington, but yeah. So shout out to Kev on stage for that. But yeah, Kmac, appreciate you. Again, you guys can stay connected with me at my website, chrisclarkcomedy.com. Sign up for the newsletter. And also I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram at Chris Clark Comedy. On Twitter also at Comic Chris Clark. And my YouTube channel, Comedian Chris Clark. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank my special guest, Kmac. Thank my sponsor, Allure by Britt Nicole and Clark's Custom Apparel. Thank y'all for listening. God bless you. Peace.
Peace.